Hello guys, I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message was forwarded to me by one of our admins, and the message reads like this. Hello my brother, how are you? Can you please post for me? My daughter was used for rituals. I am writing this letter and I am in tears as I am writing to you this letter. I do not know what to do and I don't know where to go. The issue has destroyed my family, and a lot of my family members were put in jail. This was after we had a fight with the woman who is being accused of performing this ritual. This thing, it has caused a lot of divisions in our family. I am a single mom, so I took my daughter back to my mom who was back in the village so that I'll be able to work for the baby. My story happened in Kenya. I've been working in Nairobi whilst my child was staying with my mom back in the village from where I come from. My mom's friend is the one who saw everything. My mom's friend was seen on one day taking my daughter, and this happened during the day whilst most of the people were out to the fields. Our neighbor saw her taking her and she carried her on the back. That evening, my mom and my brothers came and started to look for the 3-year-old toddler, but she was nowhere to be found. They called me and I took the first bus the following day from Nairobi and rushed back to my village. I was very anxious and very nervous at the same time. I could not wait to find my 3-year-old. I had hope. We went into the forest to look for her, but there was nothing. We tried to look for her, but still there was no sign of my daughter. I cried, I shouted her name out aloud, but there was no sign of my daughter. The following day, we only found her shoes and her dress. What could have happened? Unfortunately, there was no one to answer that. Up to today, I have her clothes that we picked up. My question is, what is she wearing? Did they kill her naked? So that old lady who was seen carrying my daughter on the last day, she was never seen. She never came to my home from that day. Whenever she will be drunk, she will start shouting, saying that, "Come and get my child, come and get my child." She always does this. She would pass by my home and start speaking on top of her voice, shouting and making fun of my mom, of how careless she is. She does these things whenever she will be drunk, and everything that she does, it traumatizes my whole family. As people who lost something that was really valuable, when this woman passes by our house shouting on top of her voice about how my mom is careless, this traumatizes my mother. Imagine, I didn't have the strength to go to work and I would cry myself to sleep with no answers but a lot of questions. One day, that lady started shouting again. That is when my brothers and me and the whole family went to confront her. We had had enough with this lady. We wanted the truth. We wanted this lady to tell us, was she the one who had murdered my 3-year-old daughter? The whole village had came to a standstill and people now feared for their little ones. We had reported the case to the police, but the police, they seemed like they didn't know their task, as they had taken the whole year without taking the suspect to prison or making any progress. That woman was walking in the village as if she was the boss in the village. She didn't care. She didn't even care if she had hurt our feelings with all the things that she was shouting. We arrived at her homestead with a lot of villagers and people took the law in their hands. I never thought that the situation will get out of hands, but when people are gathered, you cannot control everyone. The moment that we arrived at this woman's homestead with all the people that were flocking behind me, people took the law in their hands. People decided to take the law into their hands. I tried to stop them, but I could not control the whole crowd. The lady was in her mid-60s and she wanted to be violent, and she tried to beat us and throwing stones at us. Because of our numbers, we managed to overpower her, and she was beaten by the mob. She had to tell us where my daughter was being kept, but no matter how hard we tried to ask her, I even told her that I was the only one who was standing between her and the crowd, because the crowd wanted her blood. The crowd wanted to burn her. It was me who was standing between her and the crowd, but still she refused to tell us everything that she had done. People continued to beat her up until she confessed that she was sent by someone to find an innocent child who would be fit for sacrificing rituals. I was furious and I started to cry uncontrollably the moment that she confessed that indeed there was someone who had sent her to kidnap my own child so that they can make money with my child's body parts. That was too much for me to handle. I cried so much. So this meant that my little girl was dead. I didn't want to believe it. I also took a stick and I hit her so hard. No one stopped. Anyone, those who had bricks came and threw on top of her. Those who had chains were hitting her. I never felt any pain. I could have stopped the mob, but I was deeply hurt, and I believed that she got what she had deserved. We left and we all went to sleep, but that same night, that is when news started to spread across the village. That is when we learnt the news that she had passed away. She had died a painful death, just like my daughter. The police arrested the whole family, my mom, my brothers, and me. The most painstaking thing is that they were so quick to arrest us, yet for the whole year they failed to arrest the main suspect. When it came to my daughter, they just let the case to sit like that for the whole year. We were given 3 years each, and my mom also got a sentence. After we had served our sentences, we served it and we are back from prison. But my brother, do I feel pain? Yes, I feel pain. The day that they let me out of prison, they asked me this question: have I forgiven her? Simply because I wanted to get out of prison, I said yes, I wanted to get out of prison, and I regret everything that I did, but it was all a lie. Brother Nashi, if that woman was still alive, with the pain that she caused in my life, I bet I would do it all over again. I will take that same stick and I will hit her with that same stick until she is no longer breathing. I feel so much pain, oh Brother Nashi. When I came out of prison, it was during the rainy season, and when I went to the place where we had buried my daughter, I cried because her grave had been leveled down, because we had failed to put a tombstone on top of her grave in time, so the rain was washing away her grave. I cried so much. I blame the police. If only the police had done their work in time, we should have never taken the law into our own hands. Yes, partly I am sorry that she died, but she's the one who started this whole thing. How do people murder innocent children and still move on with their lives? Days are long. Please take care of your children. And if you have any opportunity, make sure that you stay close to your kids, because out there, people are just heartless. The most painful thing about my story is that the moment that we reacted, then the law was swift to act. But when we went to the police station and we showed them the proof and the evidence that led to this woman, yes, whenever she would get drunk, she would tell a lot of people that someone so important had sent her to kidnap my own child. But yet, with all the evidence that we were presenting at the police station, they just said that we should let the law take its course. Dear brother, this is my own story to share. There are nights whereby I don't sleep whenever I think about how that woman died. The way that she died, it was not a nice death, because she had piles of bricks on top of her. You could not look at that woman twice with what the villagers had done to her body. Yes, those memories, they haunt me whenever I think about them. But the moment that I think about my own daughter, I just choose to erase those memories, because this woman is the one who made it possible for my own daughter to be murdered in cold blood. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was forwarded to me by one of our admins. Please let us try to speak with her in the comment section.